Hello everyone, I'm Will Terrell, and welcome to this video. So it's been a couple weeks since I've done a video. Mostly I've just been really busy. I'm sorry if I've had several people email me and comment asking when I was going to post another video. I try and do it every single week, but when I've got a deadline going on, it's usually every other week. This book, issue 2 of Owls of the Ironwork Owl, is almost finished. I've got like 3 pages left to draw, and then I can spend a week just doing videos again, build up my buffer. When I finished issue 1, I was able to do like, I don't know, 15 videos in like a week, and that helped me stay on schedule while I worked on issue 2, but eventually those videos ran out, and so I've just been trying to squeeze it in when I could. So yeah, if you've been wondering where the videos are, that's what's going on. So this sketch is a lady that I saw it's a restaurant, it's a grocery store called Market Street, but they serve like food and stuff in a dining area, and I like to sit there and sketch people because it's sort of a like an atrium kind of area, and it's got these like tables that go all the way around, so you can sit at the tall tables and draw the people that are sitting around, and they usually don't notice you, but I keep getting busted by the employees. They want to come up and look at my sketchbooks, and so that's been a little bit awkward lately. Yeah, I saw this lady from across the room. She was playing with her cell phone. She had the sort of I don't know what's going on with this iPhone. This sketch here that I'm coloring, the pencil sketch itself was probably maybe 2 minutes. I saw her from across the room, and she I saw, they talk about having photorealistic memory or photographic memory, and I always thought like it was a joke. Like I had one time, I remember taking a portfolio into for a job interview. This is like way back when I was in college, and I didn't have a portfolio that could get me hired at all. And I took it in for a job interview to this one graphic design place, and the art director took one look at it, and he's like, "Oh, okay, well, thanks for coming in," you know. And he gave me back my portfolio, and I was like, "You don't want to keep it for your records and stuff?" And he's like, "Oh, I've got photographic memory." And I walked out of there like, "Wow, that's cool. He's got photographic memory." And then I started thinking about it. Wait a minute, my stuff must suck if he's just being nice or something. But anyways, I feel like I've kind of developed photographic memory the last few years just because I sketched so many people, and it's not like I can't walk away and remember a face for like, you know, years and years after I've drawn it, but I can take a snapshot. Like this woman, I looked at her for like 2 minutes, and I just observed her, and then I took a picture in my head, and then I sketched it out real quick. And the main thing I was trying to capture was the angle, like her nose was above her eyes. That was very important to capture. And then she had these pursed lips, like yes. And just the squinty look on her eyebrows and her eyelids. I was like, if I can capture that, then I've got her personality down. And then the rest of it was exaggeration, just to humor myself. Like the neck on her, I probably exaggerated that a little bit, but yeah. One of the highest compliments I can get from people is if they look at a drawing and they're like, "Oh, that reminds me of my aunt," or "That looks like this lady I know," or that looks like my math teacher," or something. I get that a lot from people. They look at a sketch and it reminds them of somebody they know, and that's how I know I've done my job. I've observed a personality, and I was able to transcribe that into the paper, into the sketch, and that's my goal as an artist, and I feel like I did that, which is cool. So the sketch itself was maybe 2 minutes. I just did it, you know, I was on my lunch break, and I probably went through and did 3 or 4 sketches while I was just sitting there. And I came home and colored it, and it took about, I'd say 30 minutes to color it. I'm not coloring it right now, as you can tell. I don't know why I feel the need to explain that. The next video I do will probably be a simultaneous one again, where I color it while I'm talking on camera, because I think there's something about that where it just, I don't know, you're just in the zone and whatever. But I just haven't had time to do both at the same time lately. So this past weekend I was in Amarillo, Texas. You know, Amarillo by the morning. Was there for a comic book convention called Amicon, and it was a fun show. It was just a real small convention. I think maybe there was a dozen other comic book artists, including myself. I got to hang out with my friend Ben Dunn. Ben Dunn, if you are a fan of anime or manga, you should look up Ben Dunn. He is sort of the godfather of American manga. He was one of the big reasons why we have manga in the United States. Because back in the 80s, he was a real big patron of Japanese arts, and he brought over a lot of properties and created his own manga style in the United States with his publisher Antarctic Press. Very good stuff. But anyways, so I got to hang out with him, which is always great. I love meeting other artists, and the thing with Ben is, like, he has done, I don't know, I got to stay at his house I guess last year, and go through his archives, and he had like thousands and thousands and thousands of finished comic book pages that he had drawn. I mean, like, I thought I had drawn a lot, and I never thought I drew more than him, but he just blew me out of the water. And that's not even all of his stuff. Like, that's just what he had at the house. I mean, that's amazing. They say to get good at something, you have to put 10,000 hours into it. And in comic book, that's about 1,000 pages, because each page is between 10 and 20 hours or whatever, depending on how fast you work. And so at least 1,000 pages to get good at something. And I might be approaching 1,000 now. I don't know. I probably have a few more hundred pages to go. But Ben is way past 10,000 pages, I imagine. I've had a few conversations lately with random people that I just run into. Like, I just met a couple at dinner tonight. I was out doing some page layouts for this book, and they had seen me at Amicon, and they enjoyed the panel discussions and said they got a lot out of it. But when we were talking, they had mentioned having trouble finishing drawings. And that's something that's been coming up over and over lately for me, is people talking about not being able to finish sketches or finish a project or an illustration or a book, or just not being able to finish things in general. And I felt like it's come up enough times that maybe I should say something about it, because I've had that problem before in the past, and for the most part I've overcome it. I'm not as hardcore as my friend Ben, doing the thousands of pages and stuff, but I'm getting better every day. Like, just finishing a sketch in my sketchbook used to be such a struggle, and now it's like, I can just finish it and let it go. And so I've got books and books full of these sketches that before, it was a lot of unfinished stuff. And it kind of goes along with, besides running into this couple tonight, I've had 3 or 4 people in the last week mention the same kind of thing. And then I also read an article the other day on crack.com, of all places, on 5 signs, or 5 stupid habits we pick up coming from broken homes. And I'll put the article right here for you to check out. And it was a pretty good article. It does have language, so if you're not into language, I would stay away from it. But it had some good points. And I'm not saying I came from like a horrible childhood or anything like that, but I did have a pretty rough childhood. And one of the things they talk about in this article is that you tend to not have you tend to not be able to finish things. You get very excited about projects, and you want to tell everybody about, like, look what I'm doing, look what I'm working on. You know, they get excited about it, and the people you're showing it to get excited too. Like, they can see the potential in it. But then the next time you see them, they've kind of given it up on it and let it go, and forgotten all about it. And that seems to happen over and over, and it gets to the point where people just sort of look at them like slackers, or that they're lazy, or maybe you feel that way about yourself, that you're a slacker and you're lazy, and you just talk about things and never finish them. And what they say in this article is, and it makes perfect sense, is that it comes from that when you come from that kind of situation growing up, you don't really have mentors that walk you through the challenges of finishing something. I mean, even in finishing a sketch like this, you can get into it, you can see the potential of it, but then somewhere about halfway through it, you're like, it just doesn't work out the way you want it to, and so you get mad and just quit, and you get frustrated. But having a good mentor around, like a parent or a teacher or something that's very patient with you and says, no, this is part of the process. It's supposed to look terrible until it looks good. Like, especially with paintings, all paintings look horrible, and they look like they're never going to turn out until you turn that corner, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, there it is. Now it looks like a work of art. That's good. But unless you have somebody that's patient and walks you through that process and shows you what's on the other side of it, you tend to just get frustrated and give up. And that I had that experience a lot. And the reasons they say it in the article are, because you never know if your parent's going to blow up at you, or they're just too busy doing something else, or whatnot. And I think we all have variations of that situation. And I think that's why it's important as an artist to get into a good, either find good mentors or get into a good school. And I'm not talking about like an expensive art school. There's plenty of like online art programs in cheap community colleges and stuff where they have figure drawing classes, where you can just have a teacher walk you through the process. Like, even doing these illustrations, like I went to the Jeff Watts Atelier in San Diego just for like 2 semesters, and one of my teachers was a character artist, an amazing character artist named Court Jones, and he showed me how to do it in illustration from start to finish. And just seeing him do it, and seeing how ugly it looks at certain points, and then how amazing it looks once you get to the end, just seeing it happen and being able to ask questions, like, it changed my life. And but I'd never really had that experience before. I'd had teachers, but I didn't really have teachers that had the answers for these kinds of questions. I had lots of teachers with good answers. They just didn't have the answers for being the kind of artist I wanted to be. And that's why it was important to at least find a decent school or decent teachers that I could go to. I don't know. I really don't know what I'm talking about, but I know there's probably some people out there that I hear it so much. They're like, I just can't finish a drawing. I just get frustrated and quit. Well, that's why you can't finish the drawing, is because you give up too soon, and that's not the point. But it's understandable, I don't know. I guess the point is that you're not alone. If you get frustrated and want to quit with your sketches or your project or whatever it is that you're doing, that's a natural feeling. Like, every artist goes through that. But it doesn't have to be that way. Like, you can overcome that. You have to make a decision to overcome it. You have to make a decision that you're going to finish something no matter what, and it might help to make it a smaller project. Just finish this sketch, finish this one thing in front of you, and you got to let go of the idea that it has to be perfect. You have to make your goal that it has to be finished. So this couple I ran into tonight, they used to come to my sketch club here in town, and the girl used to she wanted me to teach her. That's what she was telling me, is that she came to our group and she wanted me to teach her how to draw the figure or whatnot. And I've learned over time from working with enough artists that you can't do it for them. Like you'll notice with most of my videos, I don't do like, how do you draw Pikachu, or how do you draw Wolverine, or how do you draw Spider-Man, or whatnot. I don't do those kinds of videos, not because I don't want to, but I don't think, it's not my goal. Like, my goal is not to teach you how to draw these characters. My goal is to teach you how to teach yourself to draw, and how to encourage you to be your own artist. And doing how to draw videos, I'm sure they would get much better page views than I get. But you'll only get frustrated that you're not drawing, that your drawing doesn't turn out as good as my drawing, or something along those lines. Because that's not the point. Like, I don't want you to just copy that. That's like with Christopher Hart, his books, he's got tons and tons of books out there. I hate his books. They're not helpful. They don't teach you how to draw. He just has like examples of how he draws, and I guess you're supposed to copy them or whatnot. I don't find that helpful at all. Not in the long run. So that's my rant on Christopher Hart. I'm sure there's a few other people that have rants about him. Alright, so that's my rambling video talking about whatever it is that I just talked about. I hope you got a lot out of it. I promise this book is almost finished. I'm so close to being done with it. And then I've got one issue afterwards, but I'll have a couple weeks breathing room, hopefully, just to get some videos put up, and have a little time to put into it too, you know, actually do some how-to videos, and I'm actually working on some interviews, and I've got a Q&A video. You guys sent me some questions a few weeks ago when I was in San Antonio for a convention, and I got some great footage and great answers, and I can't wait, and I'm cutting the video right now, and I hope you'll like it. And then I've got some secret surprises. Hopefully that will turn out cool, but we'll see. Anyways, so thanks for watching, and keep smiling.